Hey guys, thanks for checking in. Steve here. I'm in Roscoe, New York right now. I'm camping with my boys, Boy Scout camp, and we're out here in Roscoe. You can see the view behind me. We had an amazing day. We helped clean up the grounds and clear some paths, repair the barbecue grill, stuff like that. You got to give, you got to give back. So here I was today giving. Today's day 12 of my 29-day challenge. And today's day is called Shooting Lessons with Mark Cuban. Now, most people know Mark Cuban. That's, the business tycoon, owner of the Dallas Mavericks. So David Nurse begins the section by talking about how he watched a lot of TV. And he was watching so much TV that it was getting in the way of his work. And he ended up losing one of his clients. And that's when he realized he's got to stop watching TV. Now, he wasn't Netflix binging. He was watching basketball games, and he justified it because that's what he does for a living, so he was watching. He decides to take back control of his life and get rid of his TV. So he calls up an old friend that he hasn't seen in 3 months because he's been so busy with work and realizes that you are the sum of your relationships. He makes it a point to stay in touch with his friends now, at least once a month. And no longer does he allow himself to go months without talking to his friends. He builds equity and friendship by constantly giving, and giving. So he tries to figure out what his friends like, and he tries to give it to them. He tries to give nice gifts. He really just wants to be a really good friend. And by having so many friends, when you need something, they're there for you. You have a huge support group. But you need to have these friends. And how do you build friends and get really genuine relationships? You have to serve others and you have to give. So, and one day he's in the basketball court before the game and he's watching, he gets into the arena before one of the games and he sees Mark Cuban out there shooting. So he comes up, gives him some pointers, gives him a few more pointers, and basically asks him for his email and says, look, I'll email you some stuff. He emails him. Mark responds right away. And at this, still, he hasn't asked him for anything. He's just giving him free advice, just giving. And they become friends. So now David Nurse is friends with billionaire Mark Cuban. I don't have any billionaire friends. I know a few millionaires, but I don't know any billionaires. So that's awesome, David, that you were able to become friends with Mark Cuban. That's freaking awesome. Talks about the mindset pivot, which is when you are able to fully pour yourself and lose yourself in the genuine care of others, that's when you find out who you truly are. You have to lose yourself to find yourself. Interesting. This explains that you got to make a list of the 15 people in your circle. And be creative with gifts for them. Give them gifts. Give them stuff that they like. So last few years, my wife and I have really kind of done that. And I've realized the importance of giving gifts, and giving thoughtful gifts, not just coming and giving money for for the seat, or giving money, in an envelope, a gift card at an event. But I told my wife, I said, not only are we going to give money, but we're also going to give a gift. I want people to get something thoughtful. Why? Because we're treating people the way we want to be treated. And I would love to receive thoughtful gifts from people. So how am I going to expect to receive thoughtful gifts if I don't give thoughtful gifts? So when you point the finger, remember, keep one pointed back at you. And always look at yourself in the mirror when you're trying to criticize or think about how someone else is performing or not performing or underperforming. Look at yourself and see, what are you doing? Are you holding yourself to the same standard? So the last few years, I've become friends with a lot of my clients. I've become friendly with other contractors. And so I've really kind of expanded my circle of friends and the people that I talk to and that I associate with. But at the same time, none of them are billionaires. They're not NBA All-Stars. Today's Blueprint Action Plan is to list my golden 15, which is to write 15 people, their name, and one thing that is personally significant to them. And then make a habit of reaching out to these people on a regular basis with a text or a call. Don't be overbearing, but genuinely show them that you care and that you're there to serve them. So this was a difficult challenge because I was put on the spot to write down 15 people that I talk to regularly or that I should be talking to regularly. And this was a challenge after reading this section because I don't have friends like Mark Cuban. I don't have billionaire friends. I'm not in situations where I'm meeting NBA all-stars. My 15 people took me a little while to come up with, but I wrote them down. I don't want to list their names because I don't want anybody offended that they made the list or they didn't make the list. But I have my 15 people and I wrote down who and what's important to them. And so most of these people I already talk to on a regular basis and keep in touch with them.